What I understood is posting on any other,
Hmm.
app might be easier than putting something on LinkedIn. Because, once you put something on LinkedIn, it seems like more professional. It
Yeah.
has to be, you are responsible for your.
Yes. Will be more technical. So
Okay.
you need to know your basics. You need to give them something, even if it's an entry level role. One thing that I'm recommending again and again, it's make sure you have some projects on your hand. It's the
Important.
main thing.
Very important. And, sometimes we don't, we neglect these things. ठीक है हम इस पे focus ही नहीं इतना करते.
But the main thing is that the tools of cybersecurity, we have a lot of tools, like we have this SIM tool, SOAR tool. So you should know a little bit about them.
अच्छा सारा अब आप हमें ये बताएं कि how to be job ready for this role. Assalamu alaikum. I'm your host Samia Mahmood. Today we are here with another episode of One Degree Change. In today's episode, we'll be talking about cybersecurity, what courses are required, what is the scope of it, and why it's important for students to know about it. और इसके लिए हमारे पास हैं Zabis graduate Sara. And first, I would like to introduce her to you. Sara, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
So Sara was a brilliant student of mine. She had recently graduated. ठीक है तो अभी हमने इनको इसमें इनवाइट किया है और पर्पस उसका ये है कि हम साइबर सिक्योरिटी के हवाले से जानें. So Sara, first tell us about your educational background and what you are doing these days.
I recently graduated with a degree in computer sciences from Zabis, Dubai, where I also achieved first class honors. तो जैसे आपने
माशाल्लाह.
बताया कि आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी की हम लोग alumni हैं.
Brilliant, yes.
तो
Brilliant student.
अभी currently I'm also working as digital marketing coordinator, where my role is part time. So it's not like very much aligned with my degree. This is something that I started while I was a student. So it's been 2.5 years I've been working in the same role. And since I graduated recently in June 2024, so right now I'm looking to start my career in cybersecurity. So I'm upskilling myself to enter that job market.
Okay, then why cybersecurity?
I've always been like not a very coding person, to be honest. Initially, when we started in university, I wasn't like very much into development. And then we started having courses like operating systems and network security, switching and routing. So I always found myself like really interested in those fields rather than development and software engineering.
So while studying, you discovered yourself, right?
Yes, I discovered myself, and I would say, like, to be honest, I did it pretty late. Initially, I was like unaware of which field I want to go in. But, like, towards the end, I would say in my final year, that's when I knew that this is the field that I want to go in. And up until now, I'm still discovering what exactly I want to do, like, which domain in cybersecurity I want to go in.
Right. So, how many domains are there? Because, that's not my field.
Yeah.
Sorry, just to ask you very basic questions.
Yeah, there are like a lot of domains, but if I have to like name a few, you can go on the network side. So like you can go in network security, you can go towards security operations or risk management, policy making. So there are a lot of different things that you can go in.
Okay, Sarah. So, what are the skills that are required for this to enter in this field? ठीक है हम ये understand करते हैं that your degree provides you the basic information
Yes.
and all the technical knowledge. ठीक है once you are equipped with all the technical knowledge, उसके बाद when you switch into the field, so what are the skills that you require to enter there?
I would like to add a point here. Since my degree was in computer sciences, it didn't really equip me with all the technical knowledge. It was sort of like a foundation for me to enter in any domain of computer science.
Right.
So, since it was not a degree specializing in any major, just a computer science degree where we studied about development, about cybersecurity, about networking, databases, and so on, a lot of different things. So, it wasn't really a specialization. Now that I have decided that this is the field that I want to go in, so I need to work hard on it. I need to, advance my skills in it, and just having a degree is not enough. And we can do that by earning some certifications and doing some trainings and job simulations, etc.
But from where would we get this kind of information that if I want to excel in the field
Yeah.
of cybersecurity? So, what are the courses? What are the certifications? How to go enter into the field, and how to upskill yourself?
So, like, there's a lot of different pathways that you can take.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're talking about students who want to enter this field, and for people like me who are currently on the job hunt to enter cybersecurity as an entry level position, so I would recommend doing certifications that are uh, for entry level. Like, for example, there is one certification called IC Square, Certified in Cybersecurity by IC Square.
All
So I
right.
recently completed that certification. It was free of cost, and the vendor provided us with training materials. So it was just like a self paced training. I prepared myself for this certification, and I had to go to an exam center and give the examination for that.
Right. Right. Okay. And what else?
You can do that initially, and that should be the very first step. I would recommend everyone to take that
Mm-hmm.
because it's an industry recognized vendor. And
Okay.
even the examination voucher is free of cost, so you can just go and give the exam. And on top of that, if you want to go and take some other certifications for students, I also recommend CompTIA Security Plus. That was something that I was currently preparing myself for, but like right now it's on pause and I started like doing some other certifications. So
How
this
many certifications have you started? Mashallah.
to be honest, as for now, it's just like the beginning of my career. So I've only completed two by now.
Mashallah.
Not, I would say three because yesterday I completed one of them. So
Congrats.
just thank you so much. So just three for now.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to recommend to everyone, the main thing that I would recommend is definitely certified in cybersecurity by IC Square. That's the main one you should go for. After doing that, you can either go for CompTIA Security Plus if you have the means of doing it, because that exams cost around $400 or something, more than that a bit. So you need to purchase it, and if you fail, you need to pay the fee again and sit in the exam. So I would suggest not to go for that immediately because that can be a sort of hassle.
Mm-hmm.
So go for something that's free of cost initially
Okay.
because you're trying to just enter the job market.
And
And
you get to learn a lot of the things
yes,
on the way.
exactly. And focus more on building technical skills rather
Okay.
than just doing certifications.
All right. What technical skills?
Technical skills, for example, like networking, you should know the basics of Linux, operating systems, Windows, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of programming. To be honest, like this is a good thing about cybersecurity. It's one of the reasons that I also picked this field is that I wasn't very good at coding. It wasn't my cup of tea. So coding is like a very minimal part of cybersecurity, but it also requires for some automations or scripting. So you should have like a basic understanding of that. And other than that, there are a lot of tools. Networking is a huge part of it, so you should be good in networks. You should know about the subnets and etc. But the main thing is that the tools of cybersecurity, we have a lot of tools, like we have this SIM tool, SOAR tool. So you should know a little bit about them.
Okay. Sarah, from where can we get this kind of information? For example, like you are exploring and doing it by
Hmm.
your own self.
Yeah.
Like for students, how would they start it? For example, somebody has done their degree in CS.
Hmm.
Now they are out in the market and they themselves don't know what to do and where to
Yeah.
go, because students at this age, they are very desperate. They are saying like, I can do any job.
Yes.
I'll be on any position. But if अच्छा you सारा बेटा आप हमें ये भी बताएं कि साइबर सिक्योरिटी के करियर के हवाले से जो क्लैरिटी है
Hmm.
आपको ये कहाँ से आई किसने आपको गाइड किया आप ये इसके बारे में बताएं
मुझे डेफिनेटली टीचर्स के थ्रू काफ़ी क्लैरिटी मिली जब मैं यहाँ पे जैबिस में स्टूडेंट थी।
हम्म
तो मैं टीचर्स से अक्सर पूछती थी क्लास के बाद ना कि अब मुझे क्या करना चाहिए,
हम्म
आगे क्या करना है। तो काफ़ी सारी टीचर्स की वजह से बहुत हेल्प हुई। फिर
हम्म
उसके साथ साथ मेरे जो फादर हैं वो ट्रेनर रह चुके हैं,
माशाल्लाह
तो उनको काफ़ी पता था फील्ड के बारे में कि सर्टिफिकेशंस की कितनी वैल्यू है और किस
और
तरह
वो
से
इसी
परसू
फील्ड
करनी है।
में ही है
वो डायरेक्टली इस फील्ड में नहीं है, मेरे
ओके
फादर एप्लीकेशंस ट्रेनर थे।
ऑल राइट
जैसे माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड, एक्सेल, पावर पॉइंट वगैरह,
ओके
उसके ट्रेनर रह चुके हैं मेरे बाबा। तो उनकी थ्रू भी मुझे काफ़ी गाइडेंस मिल गई।
हम्म
अदर देन दैट आई ऑल्सो केप्ट सर्चिंग ऑन माई ओन what I should do. For example, like if you look at job responsibilities, what are the basic credentials that they required?
हम्म
And like I mentioned earlier, certifications are very important because they help you land a job.
Hmm.
Not land a job, they help you land an interview, to be clear.
Hmm.
So certifications like Security Plus, CompTIA Security Plus, or the one that I completed, that's certified in cybersecurity. Either one of them, they're both entry level certifications, and they're kind of the same. The content is pretty much same. CompTIA is a bit like more recognized, but it's also paid. And cybersecurity certified, it's free of cost. So you can go for either one of them to just build your base profile. So that's something like an introductory course, to be honest.
Right. And how much time does it take?
It doesn't take that long for me. I believe like one of the biggest tips that I can give to students if they are trying to get a certification, they should set a deadline
All
that this is
right.
my exam date. What I did initially when I did my certification, I didn't set a deadline and
Mm-hmm.
I started preparing for my certification. So in the middle, I kind of lost my motivation a little bit. I got distracted and it was like left for a week or two. So for me, it took me like 2 months to get this certification because
Okay.
in the last month, I was like, no, this is getting out of hand. I need to set a date.
And finish it off.
Yes. So I set up the date
Mm-hmm.
and it was clear. Like, my exam was like MCQs based. So there were like, I believe 70 MCQs. I'm not exactly sure of the number, but I had to go to an exam center, give the exam, and I passed the examination in the first try.
Oh, good. That's good. But I mean, like, is it approachable? Is everything is easy for students to understand?
Yes, it is very easy. The reason that why I'm recommending this particular course over Security Plus
Mm-hmm.
is the reason that first of all, you just need to register to their website, create an account. They have this program called 1 million. They basically want 1 million people to enter into cybersecurity.
Right.
And for that reason, they are offering this course free of cost, the training and the exam voucher itself. So, both of them, they will provide you with the material to learn. You just need to use it,
Okay.
do self learning.
Great, great. Sarah, is it possible to have your degree while you are doing the degree?
Mhm.
Can you do these courses like parallel to your degree, or
Yes.
like, you have to wait for the summer holidays, or you can't do it because it's too much?
I believe that you should start it alongside your degree. This particular course, students can do it along with their degree, but when you have to give the exam, then give yourself a little bit time before giving the exam.
Yes, of course, you need to be
Yes,
prepared before you enter
because
into it.
exactly. And like one thing that I noticed while giving the exam, the training material that was provided to me wasn't exactly like 1,000% that came in the exam.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit advanced.
All
So to
right.
prepare for my exam, I didn't just focus on the training material provided.
Mm-hmm.
I used some additional resources.
Right. So, what are those additional resources?
For example, completing practice questions. There are a lot of videos on YouTube. You see, if you search up that certified in cybersecurity exam questions, so you will find a lot of videos there. You can watch them, practice those questions, and try to answer all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did around like I would say like 200, 300 practice questions
My
before
God.
giving
And
the
how much
exam.
time it took?
I used to like watch one video per domain per day. So I would dedicate at least 1 hour or
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes to myself where I practice questions.
All right.
And other than that, I believe that ChatGPT is a great resource. So
Always,
it
by
is
far.
like everyone is using it. So if there was something that I don't understand, I will go to ChatGPT and I will ask for clarification. And other than this, one tip that I will give all of the students, when you're practicing exam questions, for example, if I don't know the answer of the question, I should know why this is the particular answer and why others are not the answer.
Okay.
So you should know the background of it, like why is that not an answer? So that's the thing. There, these are some of the tips, and other than that, there are also like a lot of resources. For example, there is this YouTuber called Prab Nair. I watched his videos. His videos were great. He explained the entire format. He had like an entire playlist on YouTube.
Good. अच्छा, सारा बेटा आप मुझे ये भी बताएं कि टेक्निकल स्किल्स के अलावा कौन-कौन से स्किल्स अदर देन टेक्निकल स्किल्स हैं जो चाहिए होते हैं साइबर सिक्योरिटी की फील्ड के लिए?
पहली बात तो कम्युनिकेशन स्किल, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. these days. और हमारा ये फ़ायदा था कि when I was a student at Zabist, so they gave us a lot of courses related to this. We had communication and presentation skills by Dr. Sumaira Osmani, and she was a great professor.
Indeed.
So we had like a lot of presentations, and she gave us like tips and tricks about how to deal with people, how to present in a formal gathering, how to talk in an informal setting. So that was a very interesting course. And we have also done a lot of other courses in university. For example, we had organizational behavior,
All right.
we had technical and business writing. This
Good.
was one of my personal favorites because this course was it was more based on a technical setting. Like, for example, in a formal setting, like if you are in a workplace and your boss says something to you in that's not right, how will you deal with that situation? How do
Right.
you talk and communicate through emails? How do you present to your board of directors, etc.? So this was like a bit more of a formal course.
Yeah, and you require that very much in your day-to-day life, day-to-day your uh, this sorry, your job-related life. So
Yes,
those skills are
exactly.
very important. All the things that you learned in OB, in
Yeah.
organizations, how human behave, why they
Yes.
behave, and what are the shoulds, and what are the things that we should avoid.
And in addition to this, we also had courses like psychology, sociology. So those were also like very important in order to understand human behavior.
That's very right. That's very right. Also, I have learned something. I was just, Googling about something, some basics about cybersecurity. I got to understand that it's very important for a person to be very ethical while handling the data and all that thing.
Exactly.
Honesty and the level of integrity should be very high from a person's side.
It should be very high because at the end, it's your responsibility to protect data and to protect companies from fraud. So it's like a very, for example, like cybersecurity professionals, they have the same skills that hackers have. So they can
Right.
use it for the good or they can use it for the bad. So it's up to them how to handle that same skill set in a good way and for the betterment of society.
Okay, there's something that just popped up in my mind. I just read somewhere that some companies also hire white hat hackers.
Yes.
Okay, so basically they hire very smart people to hack their system.
Hmm.
So why? Because they want to know the flaws that their system is
Yeah.
having. So yeah, and they have a good salary.
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
a very good
they
salary.
have a good
And
salary.
white
Okay,
hat hackers were also called as ethical hackers.
ethical hackers. Yes.
So they basically have the same skill set as hackers. But organizations hire them to hack their own systems, like you said, in order to find out what vulnerabilities are there, what are the backdoors, so the organization can patch up those systems.
Right. So if you want to secure your system, so you have to think one step ahead than the criminals,
Yes.
than the hackers, the way their mind work.
Yeah.
So in order to decode that, you have to
Hmm.
think one step ahead.
Exactly. And there is also this one technology that I came across called honeypots. So, what honeypots are generally, for example, the cybersecurity professionals or the IT professionals, they will make a honeypot, which is a trap sort of thing. So, they will give the hacker an environment in which he can hack in. But that environment is isolated from the actual networks. So, when the hacker hacks that environment, they're able to figure out what are his techniques that he used, what are his tools, so they can, when they get to know about it, they can use it to protect their systems, and their actual systems are not being harmed because a honeypot is just like a trap. It was isolated from the actual network.
All right. So from where people get these skills and stuff, like, I want you to tell us about it, like
uh,
something more on it.
to be honest, like this side is like a bit more ethical hacking side. Like my field of interest is more towards security operations, which
Okay.
involves like monitoring of networks.
Right.
And this ethical hacking, it requires a separate skill set. So for
Okay.
that, you need to do their certifications, and
Okay. That
you
also
also have,
requires
yeah,
certifications.
they have their certifications. But the certification that I mentioned initially, that's like a baseline.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have that certification, you can become an ethical hacker. you can go and become a
Not the
SOC
scammer.
analyst. Yeah, you can become anything. That's a
Anything, yeah.
baseline, you can
Yeah.
say. So for ethical hacking, you need to do some pen testing. You need to have knowledge about programming and something like that. So it's like a bit separate domain.
All right. अच्छा सारा अब आप हमें ये बताएं कि how to be job ready for this role.
Okay, so to be job ready, there are several steps. First of all, you need a formal education. That's not 100% required, but it at least like makes you qualified for the role.
Yeah,
So think of
qualified
it like,
candidate आप potential candidate बन जाते हो.
yes, so think of it like a baseline. To have a degree in computer sciences, like I graduated from Zabist. In addition to that, you should have some baseline certifications
All
like
right.
Security Plus or certified in cybersecurity. Either one of them or both of them, depending upon how much can you do. So these are the criteria that makes you the potential candidate.
Right.
So that's number one. And number two, that I recently also started exploring, there's this thing called career paths on Cisco. So
Right. Like what do you mean by career path?
career paths, as in like I want to become a cybersecurity analyst.
Mm-hmm.
So Cisco has this platform, Cisco Networking Academy, that's for students. When you enroll there, you can get free certifications. Now, this certification, it's different in a sense that it will make me job ready. So I need to complete 4 or 5 courses. After completing them, I have the necessary skills to work as a cybersecurity analyst in a
Right.
junior level because they also have labs and some technical things that you do.
Good. Good. Okay. And what else? Like for example, where you have to have your digital presence. For
Hmm.
example, it's very important to be on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
How you design your resume. That is also very important.
Yes, these things are very important. But before coming to this point, I would like to mention 2 other things and then we will talk about this. So, other than doing these certifications and doing the career path and all, you can also do this job simulations. There's this website, it's very, very, very nice. So, they partner up with top companies like MasterCard and
Right.
they craft a job simulation for you. You can
Okay.
complete it in 1 hour, 2 hours. They're very short.
Mm-hmm.
They give you an insight how the day-to-day operations of a cybersecurity analyst are. So
Mm-hmm.
you
So they
actually,
will give you the insight
yes, they
of
will
the
give you
real
the
job.
insight, they will give you a list of tasks to perform, and they will give you the step-by-step guidance on how to complete them.
Right. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah.
And you can also like use them as work experience on your resume. After completing the job simulation, at the end, they will give you a snippet that you can just copy and paste in your resume that I have worked in this job simulation as a junior cybersecurity analyst.
ठीक है सारा अच्छा आप मुझे बताएं अभी जैसे हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि लैब सेटअप भी किया जा सकता है इनसाइड योर होम सो हाउ इज़ दैट पॉसिबल ये भी बताएं हमें
So there are like multiple ways of setting up a lab. एक चीज़ जो मैंने देखी थी वो ये था try hack the box. तो that's a website that you can go and it's an online platform. तो
ऑल
आप
राइट
ऑनलाइन ही कुछ लैब्स होते हैं, 1 घंटे का
मुझे
लैब
तो
है, दो
लगा आपने
घंटे का।
रियल टाइम में लैब सेटअप करने मैं तो परेशान होगी कि उसकी तो कॉस्ट ही बहुत होगी
हाँ जी, तो वो आपको दे देते हैं रिसोर्सेज वगैरह करने के लिए,
ओके
तो आप वहाँ पे कर सकते हैं। देर आल्सो लाइक फ्री
सो
ऑफ
इट्स
कॉस्ट।
ऑनलाइन इट्स
यस, इट्स
वर्चुअल लैब
ऑनलाइन virtual labs, of course.
राइट परफेक्ट परफेक्ट ओके एंड हाउ टू एक्सेस टू दैट एंड टू बिकम अ मेंबर थोड़ा सा इसका भी बता दें व्हाट्स द इजी वे टू गो
You
देयर
can just go to the website and start practicing the labs. They have a list of labs that you can work on.
राइट परफेक्ट परफेक्ट ठीक है और हमें आप थोड़ा सा लिंक्डइन के बारे में भी बताएं कि वहाँ पे हाउ टू बी मोर विजिबल
Okay, so this is like a very important step. Networking, it's very, very important these days and in every time, I would say. तो आपने लोगों से राब्ता रखना ही है। कोई भी इवेंट वगैरह हो रहा है, वहाँ पे आप ट्राई एंड गो एंड विजिट, मेक योर प्रेजेंस देयर, build your network with people, but you have to have an online presence, like you said. तो उसके लिए for LinkedIn optimization, make sure you have a professional looking picture. This is very important because I've seen a lot of people, they have just like a casual selfie on their LinkedIn.
and sometimes people don't like to post their picture I mean like to me it's like how would they see you because you know even
Yes.
if they want to call you for interview or digital interview or virtual interview they
Hmm.
will see you
Yeah, exactly.
so at least put a picture
put up a picture, and it should be a formal looking professional picture. So either like you can go to a studio and get your picture taken. For me, for my LinkedIn, I also like took a professional picture for my
How
LinkedIn.
about the passport picture? Can we post that?
Yeah, I mean, like if you want to,
But
you
that's
can
very
go with
boring.
that. Yeah. It
Okay.
makes it a little bit boring, but
Yeah.
a lot of people put it. It's at least better than, putting a very casual selfie
Casual
picture
selfie,
or a
right?
mirror selfie. It's way better than that. You
Okay.
can do that, and other than this, make sure that you have a background. On LinkedIn, they have like this banner thingy in the background, right? So you have to have that professional looking background that's related to your field. For my LinkedIn, I also put something that's related to, cybersecurity.
Right.
And in addition to this, make sure your title is like well crafted, your degree or qualification, or what are the work that you're currently doing, what are you seeking to become, and your about section, what are your goals, a little bit about yourselves. Just make it like stick to something that's related to your work, and don't start like, writing everything about you there. And other than
Because
this,
also I have noticed that some people put a lot of pictures of they have been to an event. Once
yeah,
they come back, they put like a lot of pictures. So
yes.
is it the right way to do it or
Yeah,
not really?
it's a great way of doing it, and I
Okay.
personally do it too because it shows your presence that you are being involved in all these different things.
So
So
you recommend it. It's a
yeah,
good thing.
definitely. Whether you're attending events or you're doing some certifications, post about it. Let people know. And a lot of people are scared of doing it initially, but this is posting on LinkedIn can really help you get a job. Like a
You
lot
know,
of
I what I understood is posting on any other, app might be easier than putting something on LinkedIn. Because, once you put something on LinkedIn, it seems like more professional. It
yeah,
has to be, you are responsible for your
yes,
whatever you put your picture or something. So
exactly.
yeah, it is little difficult because it requires your conscious effort
Hmm.
कि आपने क्या चीज़ डालनी है, आप उसको segregate करते हो, आप उसको refine करके फिर
हम्म।
डालते हो, but in the long run it pays you back.
जी, एग्जैक्टली। जब अब जैसे आप ये कह रही ना कि यू नीड टू बी कॉन्शियस ऑफ इट, दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट because at the end, if you're posting something on LinkedIn that's like very personal or something that you shouldn't, then that can affect you in a bad way when you go for a job interview.
All
So
right.
these things matter too.
Okay. Okay. Or, once you are called for an interview, तो आपको लगता है कि मतलब साइबर सिक्योरिटी के हवाले से, तो is there some interview tips you want to share?
First of all, like if you get called for an interview, then if you reach the interview, it will be more technical. So
Okay.
you need to know your basics. You need to give them something, even if it's an entry level role. One thing that I'm recommending again and again, it's make sure you have some projects on your hand, something that you have done on your hand. So even if I haven't worked as an analyst before anywhere and it's my first job, at least I have something to talk about.
Talk about it. It's very important because I was also HR manager at one point of time. So I always tell people that before you go anywhere, it's very important to review your CV and then in your head craft similar stories, that this is something that I have done or something I have learned. This was the mistake. Okay, sometimes people have no idea what's in their CV. They just took it from chat GPT, or they have googled it and copy pasted it. So once they go there, they're completely blank. So it's very important that you go through your CV and internalize all the information and then create and come up with relevant stories. We are
Exactly.
humans, we connect with stories. ठीक है, आप कुछ स्टोरी करो, कुछ स्टोरी अगर आप मुझे सुनाओगे तो मेरे दिमाग में उस चीज़ की पिक्चर बेहतर तरीके से आ जाएगी, एक
जी।
चीज़ सीक्वेंशियल हो जाएगी कि आपने ये किया फिर ये सीखा, दिस वाज द आउटकम, दिस इज़ हाउ यू हैंडल सिचुएशन. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आपका सीवी रियलिस्टिक भी हो और आपका सीवी आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज के साथ मतलब अलाइन करता हो, दैट इट
जी।
इज़ ट्रू एंड यू हैव डन इट, लाइक द वे यू सेड कि आपने कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स पे भी काम किया हो ताकि आपके पास कुछ बताने के लिए मटेरियल हो.
एग्जैक्टली, नॉट जस्ट कि बस सर्टिफिकेशन है, ये किया हुआ है। लाइक वेयर डिड यू अप्लाई दैट नॉलेज?
It's very
दैट्स द
important,
मेन थिंग।
very important. And sometimes we don't, we neglect these things. ठीक है, हम इस पे फोकस ही नहीं इतना करते.
द
हम कहते
थिंग
हैं
इज,
ठीक
सो
है.
सर्टिफिकेशंस विल हेल्प यू गेट द इंटरव्यू, बट your technical skills, your projects, and everything, that they will help you clear the interview. So
Right.
both of them are very important, and you shouldn't be like focused on one thing and neglect the other.
Neglect them. Good. So we have to take these two things side by side.
Yes,
Very right.
exactly.
Very right. Okay, Sarah. Thank you for your time and thank you for coming and thanks for being here with me. और आपने साइबर सिक्योरिटी से रिलेटेड जितनी इन्फॉर्मेशन भी हमारे साथ शेयर की, आई होप कि ये ऑडियंस को भी सारी समझ आई हो और उनके लिए भी बेनिफिशियल हो. इसके अलावा इफ़ ऑडियंस के पास अगर कोई कमेंट्स हैं और अगर कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं तो आप प्लीज़ कमेंट सेक्शन में जाके अपने क्वेश्चंस लिखिए. विल ट्राई टू आंसर एज मच एज पॉसिबल एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच. सी यू ऑन नेक्स्ट पॉडकास्ट. अल्लाह हाफिज़.